Yo, family. Welcome to your weekly soul reset. The Inner Compass is a brief tune up pulse check so that in times that feel really messy and really tight in the body, you'll know that you can come here, realign, and get back into your day. I am someone that deeply needs many, many resets like this. Safe spaces where I can actually just bleh, take off whatever armor and shielding and stories that I've potentially picked up and developed throughout the week. You know, if you live with others, if you're going out in public on the regular, if you're working in communities, the fact of the matter is there's a lot of interferences. There's a lot of energy interception that can come in and knock you off your horse sometimes. The inner compass is a grounding pad where we can just be in the body and practice coming back to presence. When we can practice here, we can then take it out into the rest of the world. That just made me want to fly. But I want to open up the floor for some vulnerability because this past full moon, these past few days, I felt like I was just annihilated in deep, deep transition and shift and opportunities to grow and to reflect and to look at what is the next chapter in my inner being, in my psyche that makes me actually want to take the next leap. What I'm really saying underneath it all is I don't settle for staying in the comfort. If life has brought you here into this space, my guess is that you can relate and that you are the same. We are transitioning and evolving at such a rapid speed. Light workers who are being called up to step into deeper purpose, into deeper fulfillment, and keeping it really honest and raw. I was flat on my face this week. That feeling of getting rocked. Do you know it? You're doing so good. Things are smooth, strong. You're striding, having a solid week. And then before you know it, you're just in a fetal position. Like, how did I get here? Any takers? Anyone out there? Because this feeling for me is predominantly what I feel around every completion and start of a new cycle, which for some of us, and for myself, it's happening constantly. It's nonstop in the world of healing and growing consciousness, developing yourself in whatever way, shape, or direction that is. Let me remind you that in this space, we speak about consciousness from the most universally receptive approach possible, which, when you break it down and you get to the source, we're just practicing presence. The ability to live presently in our bodies, to actually feel grounded and in alignment and in flow with your routines, with your fulfillments and nourishments and life experiences. But things just don't go our way sometimes. So let's get to the deeper understanding as to when we get rocked or knocked off of our horse. What does it take to start to bring and lure ourselves back? What does that process look like? Sure, we can dive into our multimodalities. This rising, I just laid out in the sun and I swam and I just dropped myself into the elements. That's one of the foundational teachings that I will recommend to anyone is that if you're feeling ungrounded or you're feeling disconnected, go drop in with the elements every time. Whether you can create a space for yourself of making a fire or even lighting a candle, or so much as just going outside barefoot and just walking on the earth and giving yourself that moment to breathe. Where have you felt knocked off your horse recently, if anywhere? Where is your inner psyche and your inner world continuously guiding you to? Because guess what? Whether we choose to listen to it or not, my friends, it's there. There is always a little flashing light in the subconscious mind, in the intuition, into the heart, in the sacral that is just saying, hey, here's the next step and the next chapter if you want it. Sovereignty and the power of choice is huge. It's what completely lands us here onto this planet. We have that moment to moment decision and choice and free will to build the quality of our lives every single day. And maybe sometimes it might get a little too comfortable. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the personal development process and the healing process gets to also be put on slow, on pause, on integration mode. I personally don't think that we ever stop healing and evolving and growing. But we can consciously choose to say, okay, I'm just not going to look at this pile of this week. I'm just not going to do it because I have so much going on in this direction and that direction. And we can get into these habits of doing that. And that's not good, bad, right, or wrong. We're just talking about awareness here. Is there anywhere that you've been avoiding to look? And if so, what resources are available to you to explore it? What's possible if you were to shine a light on exactly what's there? What's on the other side? That's sometimes the reminder that we need. What is on the other side of me choosing to explore my discomfort? When that feeling of what's on the other side actually starts to overpower the feeling of staying comfortable and staying exactly where you are, that's when you start to notice these rapid evolutionary shifts happening in our day to day to day. When the inner compass is fully functioning, when your directions are balanced and you're able to listen and receive and hear these codes and these directions that are guiding you into the next space of your life, what's possible? It starts with here. It starts with our ability to clear the mind chatter enough so that we can actually begin to listen to that whisper that is subtle, that is real, that is true in the depth of our voice. So take a minute and just breathe that in. Breathe in reflection and observation. Where have I been avoiding to look? What wants to come through me? It doesn't always have to be so shadowy and dark. It can actually be you choosing to bring yourself back to your light. That can also be shadow work. Shadow work is simply polarity, it's duality. It's actually recognizing that, oh, what in my life is a little murky, uncomfortable to face, to look at, to deal with. All the way from the ability to want to get on a better routine and go to the gym and do your workouts, and the frustration that that's not happening, to the financial realms of maybe wanting to be in a space that maybe you're not quite yet, or you're running into a threshold. When we actually explore why things are happening, then it becomes happening for us, right? Rather than happening to us. That famous saying that you may have heard before. Life is happening for us every single moment. This does not bypass pain. This does not justify abuse, grief, opposition, violence. These are very real things that inevitably will happen in our lives at different points. But where we actually claim our power back, where we reclaim that ability to stay in the driver's seat of our life, is when those conflicts arise, when those waves arise, and when things get really uncomfortable. How do you receive it? How do you respond to it? We're not saying to bypass it and to just say, everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to move that to the side, that pile. If this full moon has brought up anything for me, it's the ability to look at my piles of things that I have been avoiding. They're always there, just a little. So it's not about whether there's no piles or piles. Your house can be super clean on your inner world, but it's still giving your human space to regularly clear and transmute things that need to be moved through you. You are ever evolving, you are ever expanding. And if you're on the path of service and on the path of your mission work, your Dharma work, it's happening at lightning speed. So, how can you drop deeper into presence? What is it that you need? What support can you reach out to and lean in on? That's your invitation this week. Do something uncomfortable, family. Do something uncomfortable. Because what's, well, that was uncomfortable for me to actually give myself that somatic release right now, but it felt so good afterwards. Give yourself the reminder to be uncomfortable and to actually lean into it with liberation. We're not in the martyr space. We are in a new era of full sovereignty and reclamation of our choice to heal ourselves. Yes, there's support systems, there's healers, there's shamans, there's medicine people, there are brothers, sisters, warriors that are here to literally help give you the tools and help walk you back home to yourself. It was never meant to be elevated on a pedestal, anyone else's one way. You have to choose. You have to choose your way. But how can we do that unless we have a working, functioning inner compass? Close your eyes, and if you can, place your hands on your heart. Notice what you're thinking about and how that thought can teach you more about you. What golden thread can you follow back to the home of your own inner compass? What messages want to be received within your DNA, newly unlocked? Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, I want you to bring your awareness and your attention down from the eyes, the forehead, down through your throat, and begin to imagine all of your life force energy just sliding down the spectrum of your body from the inside, below the neck, until you reach your heart. Once you reach your heart, begin to breathe in again, but this time breathe in from this area. Breathe in from your heart space as if your brain lives in here, and just notice the difference on what that feels like. Notice the thoughts that begin to dissolve and wither away. Take a few more breaths with all of your focus and attention down here. Ah, exhale any sighs, any sounds, anything that is waiting excitedly to be released. As you progress throughout your day, always, always come back to your present breath. This present moment is yours to live. It is your compass that guides you in the direction of your highest dreams. So take some time and clear your compass. What self-care does it need? Does it need to be wiped down with a nice shower or a bath? Do you need to go get out in nature? Whatever it is that you need, give that to yourself right now as soon as you get done watching this. I'll see you next week, every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Thank you for coming to tune up your inner compass with me. Until next time.